Lineups, Tyronn Lue. Rookie of the Year, Amari Stoudemire, Williams, and Marion. Well, when they departed Florida on their current 8-day, 5-game West Coast road trip, it was labeled by the Orlando media as Judgment Week. The verdict was handed down Tuesday. Doc Rivers out, and assistant Johnny Davis is in as the coach of the Magic. With Doug Collins, Kevin Harlan, tell us about Johnny and what he's got in front of him tonight with his team on a 10-game losing streak.
Well, I think the big thing is to try to get him to play with some confidence. More importantly, they've got to be better defensively. They got to play with more passion and more toughness. And they got to dig themselves out of this huge hole that they have built for themselves this season. As we see Drew Gooden square up and knock in the little jump shot. But it starts on the defensive end for them. If they want to be a better offensive team, they've got to be a better defensive team, Kevin.
Here come the Phoenix Suns, the 14th best scoring team in the NBA right now. And this is Amari Stoudemire, rejected by Hunter inside. And Tyronn Lue flies down the lane into the defense of Marbury.
A good start for the Magic. They get a block shot. They get a fast break layup from Tyronn Lue. Post up from Gooden, so off to a good start.
And here is Shawn Marion on top to Stoudemire, coming off a 21-point performance a couple nights ago against the Chicago Bulls. And that's the first two for the Suns.
Well, he's really worked on that perimeter jump shot, hoping that if he can make that shot, it will expand his game.
The Orlando Magic, 20th in scoring in the NBA. And here comes McGrady dishing to Bogans. And Keith keeps it alive in a fresh 24 for Orlando.
The game plan for Phoenix is anytime that Orlando runs screen roll with McGrady, they want to trap him and make him give that basketball up.
And here's Hunter on a DePaul, working on Scott Williams, and a drive and a foul, offensive charge called on Hunter. Johnny Davis signed a 2-year deal. He actually played on that 77 world champion Portland Trailblazer team, and Bill Walton said the other day he was a very important part of the success of that team.
Well, you always have to bring that up, right, to make me feel about that championship that we lost. Now, you didn't forget. You just had to get that jab in early.
I'd like to see some video of that a little bit later on. As
no, thank you.
Leans inside, and Drew Gooden picks it up. 3 trips so far for Orlando, and McGrady has yet to take a shot. He is the second leading scorer coming into tonight in the NBA. Here's Gooden, drafted by Memphis, traded last year to Orlando.
He was their best three-point shooter, so if they space up, they'll look for him on that perimeter.
Stephen Hunter jams it home, and a foul called inside on the Suns.
See, that's what Tracy McGrady can do. That's an excellent play. You get the double team, and this is Stephen Hunter's game. He got called early in the game for an offensive foul, trying to do too much. Get around that basket, be aggressive, be active, get on the offensive board, block shots, run the floor, play to your strengths, and as your game grows, then you can do those other things, Kevin. Sometimes what happens is you try to do too much out there, and then you get yourself in trouble. Just play to your strengths.
Stoudemire picked up his first foul as Hunter completes the three-point play. The Magic losing to Utah Monday by 2, out-rebounded by 21 in that game. They lost at Los Angeles against the Clippers Saturday by 3, and at Denver by 5. And that takes it to the last 3 games for the Orlando Magic. A timeout has been taken by the Phoenix Suns, who trailed leads tonight in rebounding, shockingly enough, 6-0 over the Phoenix Suns to begin the game. And here's Lue on top, picked up by Marbury with a screen by Gooden, and Williams there to fill the gap. And Gooden, who's got 6 points, gives to McGrady, who puts up a 3. That's his first shot tonight. And here comes Phoenix the other way.
And Phoenix's first rebound, as you say.
Magic with their biggest lead right now of 5. Here comes Williams with a little move around Gooden, takes it down the baseline, and a foul on the Phoenix. A couple championships with the Los Angeles Lakers, and all the greatness about being with that team, then with Michael Jordan the last 2 years, and you.
Yeah, he understands what it is to be great.
Marbury gets it. Nice feed to Shawn Marion, and a career-high 12 assists for Marbury Tuesday against the Chicago Bulls. Frank Johnson, his coach, said this guy has got to pass the ball more. If he does, we'll be better.
Well, I think he was very happy with that play, too. Very unselfish play. Stephon could easily have the score, but he gave it up to Shawn Marion and rewarded him for running the floor.
And this is Gooden with the miss. A second consecutive rebound by the Suns, and Stoudemire grabs that. Here comes Marbury. and kicks it out. Johnson for three. Rebound by Jake Fosco in the game for the first time.
Where Jake gives him instant energy off the bench. At 12 points the other night against Chicago, got to the free throw line 11 times. That tells you his activity.
Look at Amari Stoudemire. He is hard to think better this year than he was last year in so many ways. A tremendous work ethic.
Yeah, he's really worked to develop other aspects of his game, and that's critical for young players. Bring something new to the table every year.
That's what he did this past summer. Here comes Tracy McGrady bumping into Marion and get it to go with a foul called, and it's on Shawn Marion, who is tagged with his first.
Well, the Suns, if they want to get a running game going, then they have to create turnovers. And that's exactly what happens. A bad pass by Drew Gooden, and you see Stephon Marbury races the ball down, and then drops it off to Shawn Marion. These are the kind of plays that Phoenix wants to be able to do, and they have not been able to establish that. Their defense is good, Kevin. It's not that they're not playing good defense. Their defense is good, but I think they have to create more things. And we talked to Frank Johnson before the game. He said, we're at our best when we're active and aggressive, not sitting back and allowing teams to attack us.
Phoenix 12th in points allowed, 17th in field goal defense. Again, a three-point game. Orlando on top. Here comes Marion, slapped away nicely by Keith Bogans, the rookie from Kentucky. Here comes Marion to Tyronn Lue on the fly, and the Kansas City and nails it. He's got four.
See how defense creates offense. So if you want to run, we've already seen it with both teams. You create a turnover and you get out and push the ball.
Stephon Marbury with the crossover and the drive and the deuce inside, fouled by Lue. When he makes that move, he is as explosive and as quick as any guard in the NBA.
I think he's the toughest guard in the league to keep out of the lane because he has a combination of speed, strength, and quickness. And when he gets that body on you, there's very few guards that have this kind of power. And when he gets his body on you, then he gets in the lane, and then he can do either the little floater that he did or did.
Offensively, he was just giving me so many counter moves. We was just working every day on, footwork, on jumpers, in between, just everything. It just got me to the point where I just felt like I couldn't be stopped on the basketball court.
The Magic have not won since opening night, October 29th.
Well, we talked about their defensive woes. The Suns are shooting almost 62%, and they have 13 assists on 16 field goals. If Orlando's going to win this game, they have got to find a way to get some stops.
Stoudemire is back in for the Phoenix Suns. Shot clock is at 3. Dancing on DeClerc and over him. And the rebounding advantage for the Magic is +6 still. Both teams have led by as many as 5 points. McGrady back in, wrestling with Marbury. They volleyball it around. Chabarkaba. Nice knock away by DeClerc. And a foul called on Andrew DeClerc inside. This Chabarkaba, much like Ginobili at San Antonio, they give you a different move with every part of their body.
Well, again, Suns defense, this is a great effort by both Tracy McGrady and the Suns players. You see him diving in there on those lines. You got to protect that middle.
Tyronn Lue. And they fight for the ball with a claim by Stoudemire. Free throw shooting about the same in this game. Turnovers, though, have really hurt the Magic. They've got 11, just 4 for Phoenix. Scott Williams had missed the first part of the season, had surgery on his thumb, came back the other night and played well, and he's playing great tonight, 4 of 4.
I got to talk to him. I mean, he just hit a jump shot, and he hesitated on that one. Looked like, well, I've got nobody to pass to. I better shoot it. Man, when you make one, get ready to launch that next one.
Kid's got a great name in the NBA to Scott Williams. That ball is jarred free. Every place he has gone, the one thing the coaches say about him, he's such a great leader and such a wonderful locker room presence wherever he goes.
When you look at him right there, he's, what do I do? What do I do? I guess I better shoot it. So that's 2 in a row he's made now.
Here's McGrady, doubled and nails it again. He's at 2 in a row. He's got 8. And that leads the Orlando Magic.
He can make tough shots. It looks like you haven't defended. He has that ability to make the toughest of shots look easy.
It's Marbury. Magic down by 1. And here comes Stoudemire. He has so much torque when he gets it, corkscrews up and rings it home.
Well, quick inside turn on that baseline, great quickness, and he has very good hands. He has the ability to palm that ball and extend with one hand. That's a tremendous asset.
But can you believe how quickly he could jump? I mean, just bang, just so doggone fast. It's hard to defend something like that as Williams corrals the loose ball. Here goes Marbury sailing down the lane.
Well, that's the kind of basketball the Suns want to play. It's inside to Amari Stoudemire, the quick post up, get the defensive rebound, get out and run. Marbury running the break. This is the season and the team that the Suns want to be able to have. But Kevin, you talk about it, the little quick turn. Look how he grabs a hold of that basketball and the explosion. And I've seen him with the second jump be as powerful. And then nobody stopping the basketball. Looked like a layup drill on what this young guy has worked through in his lifetime, in his career. He's a wonderful father and a husband now. And just, you know, it was an amazing story to read about today in the newspaper. I can't imagine going through that kind of tragic situation at age 19 or any time in your life.
Second foul on Marion. And the thing about him, kind of a connection to what I said in the last segment, is that he has been this incredibly wonderful asset to any team he's been with. Talked about Chicago, part of the 3 championships in the early 90s. He was with Milwaukee when they made the Eastern Conference Finals back in 2001. And George Karl says a very vital role he played on that team. You know, made the difference. It's good and hits for 2 there.
Well, you got to have those kind of players. You have stars, and then you have people who help make the stars better by doing their roles. And Scott Williams plays his role.
Both teams are shooting 55% from the field. Rebound by McGrady, and it's +7 in rebounding for the Orlando Magic tonight. And not a very good rebounding team to begin with, but playing well off the glass. Keith Bogan's back in the game for Orlando.
Steve Barr on this last 2 minutes. Remember, Kevin, I always talk about how you win halves. Let's see who gets the best of these last 2 minutes.
Missed 3. Oh, and Williams, I don't know if he's strained in shoulder or what, but he's in pain as they send Johnson the other way with a floater. And a rebound by the Suns. Phoenix coming in 4-6. The Magic with a 1-10 record.
You know, Scott Williams has struggled with shoulder problems. I think he's had surgery on both of his shoulders. I think he had dislocations in both of his shoulders. We'll have to keep our eye on him as the game goes on.
Lou picks up his second foul. Williams stays in the game. Look at Johnny Davis, who has been an assistant with the Orlando Magic for the last 5 years under Doc Rivers, who was let go late Monday, early Tuesday. And Doc still has 2 more years left on his contract. Oh, what a pass! And what a play, and will not count. Interference in the cylinder. Wipe it away.
Well, Johnny Davis knows what it is to take over a difficult situation. The pass from Marbury actually is in the cylinder. That ball looked like it was going to go in, and Sean Marion just guided it in. But for Johnny Davis' first chance as head coach was with the Philadelphia 76ers. Allen Iverson was a rookie, and they went 22-60. So he understands how difficult this business is and the importance of having good players.
Good and squeezing the trigger, picked up by Stoudemire. Approaching a minute to play in the first half with Marion racing the other way and launching on the fly.
He's got that little floater. Tell you what, the next phase of his game, for him to be a better offensive player, is the ability to get to the free throw line. Kevin, he shot 30 free throws on the season, 29 threes. He should be a guy that averages about 7 or 8 free throws a game.
Suns have a foul to give. And the drive here. And count it for 2.
You see the Suns as Penny Hardaway loads up and hits the perimeter jump shot. And this is what I was talking about, getting in the lane and the easy opportunities. The Suns had 26 points in the paint. The fast break opportunity, Chabarkova, 2 of his 10 points in 11 minutes. A good lift off the bench as he did against Chicago the other night. And I think as you look at the Phoenix Suns, what they'd like to do is in this third period, try to get some separation. This is an Orlando team right now, Kevin, that's reeling confidence-wise. They're 1-10 this year, but if you throw in training camp and exhibition, they were 1-7. If you go back to last year in the playoffs, their last 3 games. This is a team that's 2-20 over their last 22 games. So the confidence is shaky. If you're Phoenix, you want to jump on them right now.
Each team is led by as many as 5. We've had 7 lead changes. We've had 4 ties. And let's send it over to Cheryl Miller.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. And I'll tell you one thing, Doug, you nailed it on the head. There are 3 things that Coach Davis really wants to concentrate on the second half. Number 1, they have to do defensively a better job on pick and rolls. They were a little late on the rotations. Number 2 is transition defense. And number 3, I think everybody on the West Coast and East Coast is trying to figure this out. Keep Marbury under control.
It's tough to do.
Well, it's tough to keep him out of the lane. If you have to make a commitment, you're going to send a couple people at him. I think what happens is when he gets in the lane, you see a guy with an open shot when he's kicked you and you try to close out on him and you get beat off the dribble. You've got to make the Suns make some outside jump shots. This is a team that has not shot the ball well from the perimeter, and you got to force them, Kevin, to make some outside jump shots.
We have had just a quick altering of the score. They gave, inadvertently, Gordon Giricek a 2-point shot when it should have been 3. So the Magic on top, 49-48 as we begin the second half. Marbury is out there with Johnson, who takes the jump shot. Williams, Stoudemire, and Marion on the front line for the Suns. And the Magic with Tyronn Lue and McGrady with Stephen Hunter, Keith Bogans, and Drew Gooden on their front line.
Sense of purpose right now for Orlando. Tracy McGrady talked about it at halftime with Cheryl as we see T. Lue miss the jumper, Kevin, but sense of urgency. They're 1-10. And coming out in this third period, out of the locker room, can they bring the same kind of energy that they played with in that first half?
So McGrady has a game-high 11. Barkova off the bench for Phoenix has put in a Suns-high 10. And here comes Stephon Marbury, 3 of 8. Johnson and back to Steph with 10 seconds on the clock. Scott Williams, who has had a deadly shot tonight. 9 minutes, 5 of 5 and 10 points.
Well, Stoudemire made that play. He slipped that screen roll. When he caught the ball, the back man had to step up, and Scott Williams wide open.
Each team has shot over 50% most of the game. Rebounding in the glass controlled by the Magic. As of right there, they've got a 5-rebound advantage over the Suns.
You look at the Magic out there, really, they have 3 offensive weapons. You know, Stephen Hunter's not a weapon, nor is Bogans. You got T. Lue coming off that little screen with a nice little jump shot. You got Gooden, and you have Tracy McGrady. So those 3 guys have to carry the offensive load, and Hunter has to get on the boards and get out, and Bogans has to play the good, tough defense.
Nice pass into Stoudemire, who winds up. And on McGrady, scoops it off to the clerk. Giricek. Played by Howard and the drive. Second time he has sliced his way inside.
He really struggled with a foot injury in training camp, and he felt like that he played too much this summer.
Yeah.
He said, I'm going to have to take some time off in the summer. I'm playing year-round, and he said, my body's breaking down.
That happens to a lot of guys in this league.
Absolutely, especially after you get a little older.
Bosco keeps it alive for the Phoenix Suns, and they'll reload with Marbury on top. Under 3 to play now in the third. We were tied at halftime. And Marion for 3, and a big-time one it was. And the Suns back on top by 9. They've led by as many as 13 points. And then McGrady has gone scoreless in this third quarter. 4 of 8. It's not what they need. Foul, it's inside. Jabarkova picks up his 4th foul. Shawn Marion here with a 3.
Shawn Marion shooting only 24% from the three-point line coming into the game. Now he was 7 for 29, shooting 90% from the three-point line. And talking to Frank Johnson before the game about him getting to the free throw line, he said, you know what, he thinks that as he continues to mature and grow, he says that he'll learn to be able to take that contact and be able to get to the free throw line. Right now, he has a tendency to avoid contact. He's so quick. His ability to jump away from the defenders. And Kevin, you got to get those guys up in the air and get to that line.
Tom Gugliotta comes in for the first time tonight. Joe Johnson back in, and Giricek can't get it. A 3 by Tracy McGrady. He is 4 of 9. Offensive rebound by Andrew DeClerc. And they keep it alive. Joe Johnson scored 8 points in the opening 4 minutes of the second half, and that's what has given the Suns this nice pan. Boy, no arch on that shot.
I don't know how it goes in. Magic have got to find a way to get a score.
after the timeout. Pushing 5.5 to play in this fourth quarter. Lou for three. Rebound fluttering, banged by McGrady, saved by Gurchek. Bosco is back on the floor for the Suns. The only significant change either way after the break. Lou is open from 15. Rebound by Joe Johnson.
Everything right there, just couldn't get the shot to go. It was very good execution. Got right where he wanted to get. Normally, Tyronn Lue will make that shot.
The Suns are minus 12 in rebounding tonight. It's Johnson finding Marion, and there's McGrady, who should be a great defender, but you don't see it often, and Bosco takes it inside.
Well, Jake Bosco is looking like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar tonight. I mean, he's got, 12 points off the bench for him?
He looks terrific. Bosco, 12 in 19 minutes and 4 rebounds. Magic have missed 8 of their last 9 shots. It's Drew Gooden, handcuffed inside and corkscrews one up and picked up by Stephon Marbury. Oh, what a pass to Stoudemire, handcuffed inside by Juwan Howard. That's the second on Howard in this game. The Suns have led by 13. The Magic have led by as many as 5.
Well, Amari Stoudemire, the Suns coaches talked to him to start this year, and they said, you know what, the next phase of your game is if you can run that floor every possession, it will so help you be able to get to the free throw line and get some easy baskets. And they put together, Mark Iavaroni, one of their assistant coaches, put together a tape of Karl Malone just running the floor relentlessly. We see the big three tonight. Stephon again with 12 points and 10 assists. Shawn Marion has been quiet with only 9 points. But really, Joe Johnson has had the big second half to really give them the separation.
How about the free throw shooting tonight? A total of 18 shots taken from the stripe, 8 by the Suns and 10 by the Magic. Quiet on that regard. Lou over Marbury. Gurchek with the offensive rebound. We've had 7 lead changes and 10 ties in this game. And here comes Gooden, and he can thrive on the block. That's point guards, in fact, in the NBA. And that went over, hit the shot clock. And that's got to be so hard. And Lou is not the biggest guy, but he is thin. And Marbury is so thick and so muscular.
Well, I tell you what, though, Tyronn Lue takes it as a challenge. That's an insult. You're going to try to post him. I coached him for 2 years, and he didn't give up that spot very easily down there.
McGrady for 2. He's got 58.
And he's come back in great shape, and he's on a mission right now. That team is playing very well.
And Stoudemire missing. Picked up by Lou. And Gooden was hounded by Stoudemire as the Magic only shooting 41% in this game and about 35% in the second half. They were over 50% the entire morning, and here comes Tyronn Lue. And McGrady from 3. Good! Tracy McGrady's got 20 points. That is a game high. And it's a 5-point game with 31 seconds to play. And the foul goes on Derek Dial, who is in. That's the first on him.
Look how easily he shoots this three. He goes up. Marbury's a little bit late getting there, but that's such an easy shot for him. He has such great range. Again, they're hanging around, but Stephon can make these 2 free throws. Going to make it very difficult to finish. We talked about their offensive woes, and they average 88 points a game, and they're looking at 87 tonight.
Brady has said that he and Johnny Davis get along well, and that is going to be important. And the relationship that Rivers and McGrady had probably is unimportant right now. I think he respected him, and with Doc Tracy, right now things rest in the lap of Johnny Davis. A team which is trying to dig themselves out of a gigantic hole, trailing 94-87, having lost 10 consecutive games.
It cost them dearly. It cost them that series.
Tyronn Lue for 3. A good rebound by Derek Dial. Layup is in with 21 seconds, and the Magic down by 5. That's the game reset you see. The fouls to give you the way as McGrady fouls Marion, who is out of the blocks and flying down court. It's the first on Tracy McGrady, who's got a 38-minute, 20-point night with 5 rebounds and 7 assists. The inside the NBA is up next in Atlanta.
Kevin, when I was a young coach in Chicago, Johnny Bach, my dear friend and assistant, he wrote me a note in Latin, and I didn't know what it meant, and he said, turn it over. And I turned it over, and he said, I want you to know one thing about coaching. And it said, when things are going well, there's credit enough for everybody. When things are going poorly, one must take the blame. And Davis is going to have to try to find a way to put this together.
Orlando has rebounded the Suns tonight by 17, now by 16, and that'll do it. And the Orlando Magic have lost 11 consecutive games. They have not won in 3 weeks. And the Phoenix Suns go to 5-6, exactly where they were a year ago in a season that saw them get to the playoffs in the 8th and final Western Conference playoff slot. McGrady leads all scorers with 20. There were 7 double figures for the Suns, including a team-high 16 from Shawn Marion.